Okay, so AI, it's like everywhere, right? It seems like every day there's some new headline about AI changing the world. But today we're like zeroing in on online shopping and how AI is already changing things.
It is interesting because you don't always see it happening. Like, we might not even realize how much AI is affecting what we buy online.
Yeah, it's like working behind the scenes. To help us unpack all of this, we're diving into a blog post from blogwidow.com. The post is titled, What are the Benefits of AI in E-commerce? And it was just published March 14th, 2025.
Oh, very recent.
So hot off the presses. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll know all the ways AI is shaping how you shop online, whether you realize it or not.
You know, AI is really being used to personalize like each stage of a customer's journey,
Hmm.
from when they get to a website all the way to actually buying something.
So let's start with something I think we've all seen, like those really accurate product recommendations. Like when you're shopping for a new pair of shoes and then all of a sudden you see ads for like matching handbags. It's like, AI is reading my mind. How does that even work?
It does feel like magic sometimes. But it's really just very complex algorithms that are analyzing tons of data. These algorithms are made to like predict what you want and need as a shopper. They track things like your browsing history, what you've bought before, even how long you look at certain pages. All of that gets put together to make those recommendations that you see.
So it's not just about tracking every click. It's not that simple, right?
No. There are a few different types of algorithms. A really common one is called collaborative filtering. Basically, it looks for patterns in shoppers who are similar to you. So if other shoppers who bought those same shoes as you also buy a certain handbag, the algorithm might recommend that handbag to you.
That makes sense, like having a virtual shopping buddy with good taste.
And another one is called content-based filtering. It focuses more on the actual features of the products you like. So if you're looking at running shoes, the algorithm might suggest other running shoes with similar features, like extra cushioning or support.
So it's a combo of what I've done before and what the product is like itself. No wonder the recommendations can be so accurate. Right. And blogwidow.com mentions that this kind of personalization makes customers happier. Because who doesn't like getting helpful suggestions? And it also increases sales for the companies. Seems like a win-win.
For sure. And you see this working really well with companies like Amazon and Netflix. Their recommendations, which use a lot of AI, are very good at increasing sales and engagement.
Speaking of better customer service, let's talk about chatbots. Now, at first, I have to admit I wasn't a huge fan. The early chatbots were kind of more frustrating than helpful, but AI seems to be changing that. What's different now?
Yeah, you're right. Early chatbots were pretty basic. They could only answer a few questions, and their answers often felt very impersonal. But now, because of advances in AI, and specifically in NLP, chatbots are much more advanced.
Okay, hold on. What is NLP? That sounds really technical.
Does a bit, but the idea is pretty simple. NLP stands for natural language processing, and it's a part of AI that helps computers understand and process human language. So modern chatbots can actually understand what you're saying, not just recognize keywords.
So it's like I can actually have a conversation with a chatbot instead of just picking from like a list of options.
Exactly. And because these AI chatbots are learning all the time, they're getting better at understanding what you need and giving good answers.
Yeah.
And they can handle way more stuff now, like product info to order tracking and returns. And they work 24/7 without needing a human to help.
Wow, so no more waiting on hold for an hour just to ask a simple question. Huge time saver.
For sure. It's about providing instant gratification and convenience. And because AI is handling those basic questions, it frees up human customer service agents to handle the more complex problems.
Makes sense. So AI chatbots aren't replacing human interaction completely. It's more like they're making things more efficient and more personalized. Almost like having your own personal assistant, ready to answer any questions you have.
That's a great way to put it. They're becoming much better at feeling personal and helpful like a good salesperson.
I love it. But let's be real, sometimes even with personalized recommendations and helpful chatbots, finding what you need online can be a pain. We've all been there, endlessly scrolling through search results trying to find that one thing. But AI can help with this too.
Oh, for sure. AI is changing how search works in e-commerce. And it's making it much easier and faster to find exactly what you want. Like, have you ever used visual search?
You mean like taking a picture of something and using that to search? I've seen that, but never tried it.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more common. So you take a picture of like a product you want, maybe you saw it in a magazine or something, and AI will search the entire internet to find it, or at least something very similar.
That's so cool. It's like having your own personal stylist who can instantly tell you what something is. What about voice search? I use that on my phone all the time. Is that powered by AI too?
Yeah, and that's really helpful for people using their phones, people on the go. AI powers the voice recognition that lets you just say what you want to search for.
Okay, that makes sense for when you know exactly what you want. But what if you're just browsing or you're not even sure what you want? Can AI still help?
Even then, yeah, these algorithms are getting really good at understanding what you mean, even if your search is vague or misspelled.
So it's like it can read between the lines of my search and figure out what I really want, even if I don't know myself. Pretty amazing. But what happens when I find that perfect thing, but then, oh no, it's out of stock? Can AI fix that classic e-commerce disappointment?
That is a great question. And it brings us to another place where AI is making a big difference: inventory management.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting.
Imagine if those out-of-stock messages just disappeared. That's what AI could do for inventory management. It's not just about what's in stock right now, it's about knowing what people will want in the future. AI can analyze sales data, trends, even the season to forecast what will be popular.
So it's like AI is telling the store, hey, you better stock up on pumpkin spice lattes. It's fall, but like way more sophisticated.
Exactly. It uses data to make better decisions. This type of forecasting helps businesses have the right amount of stock and make sure that the things people want are there when they want them.
And blogwidow.com mentions that this kind of inventory optimization means less waste, less extra inventory, and even better cash flow for businesses. Another win-win for shoppers and companies.
Yeah, for sure. By automating the process of ordering more stuff, businesses can make sure they never run out of the stuff you love.
So it's like having a super smart stock clerk who always knows what needs to be ordered and when. That's so cool.
It takes the guesswork out of it and uses data to make better decisions.
This brings us to something that's always interesting to talk about: dynamic pricing. You know how airline ticket prices go up and down all the time, even changing by the minute? That's dynamic pricing, and AI is becoming a bigger part of it. How does it work?
It's really interesting. AI algorithms analyze a bunch of data in real time, like market data, prices from competitors, and even customer behavior. Based on all that info, it can change product prices to match supply and demand.
So if suddenly everyone wants that new gadget, the price will go up. But if no one wants it, the price goes back down.
Exactly. It's not just about reacting to the market. It's also about knowing your buying habits. So you might even get personalized discounts based on what you've bought before.
So they're not always just jacking up prices. It could be good for me, the shopper.
Yes, for sure. It's about finding that balance that's good for both the business and the customer. Companies can stay competitive and make money while customers might get better deals.
That makes sense. But how do we know that this dynamic pricing is being used fairly? Like, are there rules?
That's such an important question. It does make you wonder about transparency. Companies need to be open about how they're using AI for their prices and make sure they're not treating certain groups of customers unfairly.
So it's about finding that balance between using AI and being ethical and transparent.
Exactly. It's an important conversation to have because AI is becoming a bigger part of how we shop.
Well said. And talking about things that need to be considered carefully, let's talk about online fraud. It seems like we hear about data breaches and identity theft every day. But AI can help protect us too.
You're right. Online fraud is a growing problem, and AI is stepping up to fight it. AI algorithms can analyze transaction patterns and find anything unusual in real time. So if something seems weird about your purchase, like an unusual amount of money or a shipping address that doesn't match, AI can flag it before any damage is done.
Like having a super smart security guard for your online shopping cart.
I love that. And it really works. AI is so much faster at detecting fraud than older methods. It can often catch it before you even realize something's wrong.
So it's not just about catching the bad guys after they do something. It's about preventing it in the first place.
Exactly. And it's not just about protecting businesses. It's about protecting your information. You know your credit card details, your personal data. AI-powered security systems are protecting that.
Wow, that makes me feel so much better. It gives me more confidence knowing that my info is being protected. But sometimes those personalized ads can feel a little too personal, like someone's watching everything I do online. Is AI really that good at knowing what I like? Or is it just a coincidence that I keep seeing ads for things I just looked at?
It's definitely not a coincidence. AI is a big part of e-commerce marketing, and that includes those ads you see. AI algorithms can analyze your browsing history, what you've bought, your social media activity, and even things like what time of day you usually shop. All of that goes into making those very targeted ads.
So it's not just showing the same ad to everyone, they're tailoring the message to each person.
Exactly. And that can make those ads much more effective. Instead of seeing ads for stuff you don't care about, you see things you're actually interested in.
And I guess that also saves money for businesses because they're not wasting money on ads that no one will click.
Absolutely. It's about showing the right ad to the right person at the right time. And we can't forget about how much this helps businesses. AI-powered marketing can save them so much time and effort, so they can focus on other parts of their business.
This is all super interesting, but it feels like we're just starting to see what AI can do in e-commerce. Is it actually possible to predict the future of shopping?
Well, with AI, it's getting pretty close. AI algorithms can analyze huge amounts of data to see new trends and know what customers will want before they even know it, like having a crystal ball for e-commerce. And this lets businesses make better decisions about everything from products to marketing.
So it's not just about making things better now, it's about shaping how we shop in the future.
For sure, AI is always changing and learning. As it gets more advanced, we'll see even more amazing things happening in e-commerce. And we'll be back after a short break to explore some of those possibilities in more detail.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about how AI can actually predict the future of shopping, like having a crystal ball for e-commerce. Sounds amazing, but how does that really affect us, the shoppers?
Imagine if shopping online was so personalized, it's like the website was made just for you and it knew what you needed before you even did. That's what predictive analytics can do.
Okay, I'm trying to picture it, but how does that work?
So predictive analytics is more than just suggesting stuff you might like based on what you've bought before. AI algorithms analyze a ton of data, including your past behavior and what you prefer, to predict what you might want or need in the future. You might start seeing recommendations for things you hadn't even thought of, but they totally fit your style and what you need right now.
So it's not just about what I bought last week, it's about knowing what I'll need next month or even next year. It's a whole other level of personalization.
Exactly. And it's not only about products. This level of personalization can be for everything from the kind of discounts you get to how customer service talks to you. It can even change the way the website looks, making it easier and more interesting for you.
Wow. So AI is like creating a completely custom shopping experience for every single shopper. But how do businesses benefit from all this? It can't just be about making us happy, right?
Businesses definitely benefit too. AI is completely changing the way e-commerce companies work behind the scenes. We've already talked about inventory management, but AI is making a difference in a lot of other areas too.
Like what? Give me some examples.
One of the biggest benefits for businesses is automation. AI can do a lot of the boring and repetitive work that people used to have to do. Things like processing orders, answering customer questions, and even making marketing content can now be done by AI systems.
So instead of spending hours on boring tasks, employees can focus on more creative and interesting work.
Exactly. It's about letting human employees do what they do best, things that need creativity, critical thinking, and understanding people.
And I bet this also saves businesses money, right?
Absolutely. By automating those tasks, companies can spend less on labor and make their operations more efficient, which can lead to lower prices and better value for customers.
So AI is more than just a cool new thing. It can actually make a big difference for businesses while also improving things for shoppers.
Exactly. And the best part about AI is that it's always getting better. As technology improves, we can expect to see even more innovative ways it's used in e-commerce.
That's exciting. It feels like we're at the beginning of a huge change in how we shop. But with AI doing more and more, it's hard not to wonder about what happens to all the jobs in e-commerce.
It's a good question. It's true that AI is taking over some tasks that people used to do. But we have to remember that AI is a tool. It's not meant to replace humans completely.
So it's more about working together than replacing people. Exactly. The future of e-commerce is probably going to be a partnership between humans and AI, where each one does what they're best at. AI can do the repetitive data stuff, while humans can focus on the creative, strategic, and people-focused parts of the business.
That's a nice way to look at it. It's about finding that balance between using the power of AI and valuing the special skills that humans have.
I agree. And as AI keeps developing, it's important that we learn new skills and adapt to stay relevant in the job market.
So it's not about being scared of robots taking over. It's about taking advantage of the opportunities AI gives us and figuring out how to work with it.
Now let's talk more about how AI is changing marketing and customer service.
Those are two areas where AI is already making a huge difference. Earlier, we talked about marketing automation, but let's dig a little deeper.
Let's do it. So what's beyond just sending the same email to everyone on a list?
AI is bringing a whole new level of personalization to e-commerce marketing. Instead of just sending generic messages, businesses can use AI to create targeted and personalized marketing campaigns that reach the right customers at the right time with the right message.
So how does that work? How do they know who the right customer is and what the right message should be?
AI algorithms can group your customers based on all sorts of things, like what they've bought before, what they look at online, their demographics, and even their social media activity.
So you can make different messages for different types of customers. Like if I'm always buying workout clothes, I might get different messages than someone who only buys fancy clothes.
Exactly. And that makes marketing way more effective. You can tailor your messages to fit what each group of customers needs and is interested in. It's about giving them personalized content that feels relevant and interesting instead of just another sales pitch.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about respecting the customer's time and attention by only giving them info that's actually useful to them.
Exactly. And AI can even help figure out the best time to send those messages. It could look at data to see when customers are most likely to open and read them.
So no more annoying emails at 3 in the morning.
Hopefully not.
Mhm.
AI can help make sure your emails are sent at the right time so they're actually seen and read. It's about understanding the customer's habits and changing your marketing to fit them.
That's a game changer. But what about social media? Is AI being used there too?
Definitely. AI is a big part of social media marketing. It can help you find your target audience, make content that they like, and even schedule your post automatically.
So I could basically just let AI handle all my social media.
Well, not entirely. While AI can be really helpful for social media marketing, it's still important to have a human touch. You need to make sure your social media feels real and engaging, that you're responding to comments and messages, and that you're building relationships with your followers. But AI can definitely help you out and make things easier.
That's good to hear. Sounds like AI is taking marketing automation to a whole new level. But what about customer service? How is AI improving the experience there?
We already talked about chatbots, but they're just the beginning. AI can personalize the entire customer service experience.
Oh, tell me more about that. How can AI do that?
For example, AI can look at customer data to find patterns and predict potential problems. So if someone is having trouble with a certain product, AI can flag that and reach out to help, even before the customer contacts customer service.
So instead of waiting for people to complain, companies can try to fix problems before they even happen.
Exactly. It's about being proactive and making things easy and enjoyable for the customer from beginning to end.
I'm convinced. AI is definitely changing the world of e-commerce. But I have to ask, what's next? What can we expect in the future?
That's a great question. The possibilities are endless. As AI keeps getting better, we'll see even more amazing and advanced ways it's used in e-commerce.
Give me a peek into the future. What are some of the cool things coming up?
Well, one thing that's getting a lot of attention is augmented reality or AR. Imagine trying on clothes virtually at home using your phone or a smart mirror. Or picture seeing furniture in your living room before you buy it, using AR to see how it would actually look and fit. AI is making these things possible.
Whoa, that's crazy. It's like science fiction becoming real.
It is, right. And that's just one example of how AI is blending the physical and digital worlds. We can also expect to see more voice commerce, where you just talk to your devices to buy things.
So I could just tell my smart speaker to order more coffee.
Exactly, and it will be done. We're also seeing the rise of personalized shopping assistants powered by AI. These assistants learn what you like and help you find deals, make recommendations, and even manage your shopping lists.
So AI is becoming our personal shopper, making everything easier and more personalized than ever before.
In a way, yes. It's about using AI to make shopping better and more fun for everyone. But with all these amazing advancements, we also need to think about the possible downsides.
Good point. What are some of the risks or challenges we need to think about as AI becomes a bigger part of our lives?
One worry is that people might lose their jobs. As AI automates more tasks, it's possible that some jobs will disappear.
So it's important to stay ahead of the curve and adapt to the changing job market.
Absolutely. We need to focus on learning skills that work well with AI instead of trying to do the same things as AI. Another challenge is making sure AI is being developed and used responsibly.
What do you mean by that? What are some things we should be thinking about?
Well, first we need to make sure that AI is being used ethically and that it's not making existing biases or inequalities worse. We also need to think about data privacy and security. AI uses a lot of data, so it's really important to make sure that data is being handled correctly and that people's privacy is protected.
So it's not just about being excited about AI, it's about being thoughtful about the possible consequences and making sure AI is being used for good.
Exactly. It's about having open and honest discussions about the good and bad things about AI and finding ways to reduce the risks while still getting the benefits.
This has been such an interesting conversation. It's amazing to think about how far AI has come and how much it can change e-commerce and even the world as a whole.
I agree. It's an exciting field that's always changing.
And on that note, let's move to our last segment where we'll talk about what you, the listener, can do to shape the future of AI in online shopping. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We spent this whole episode talking about AI in e-commerce. You know, how it's personalizing our shopping experiences, how it makes customer service better, and even how it predicts future trends. But before we finish up, I want to talk about you for a minute and your role in all of this.
A lot of times it can feel like AI is this huge thing that we have no control over. But the truth is, we as shoppers have a lot more influence than we think.
So it's not just happening to us, we can actually shape the future of AI.
Exactly. Think about all that data we talked about, the browsing history, all the buying data, the product reviews. It all feeds those AI algorithms. Every time you shop online, you're actually helping AI learn and grow.
Okay, so we're all part of this big AI experiment, even if we don't know it. But how can we use that to make AI better for everyone?
Well, first, pay attention to the data you're sharing. Take a look at those privacy policies. I know they're long and boring, but they can tell you a lot. Change your cookie settings and choose carefully what information you give to companies.
So you're saying the more we know about how our data is used, the more control we have.
Exactly.
Ah.
It's like voting with your data. We can support companies that use AI in a good and responsible way. And we can choose not to give our data to companies that we don't trust.
So if we don't like how a company is using AI, we can basically stop giving them our data.
Yep. And don't forget about the power of feedback. If you see something that feels weird or intrusive or just wrong, say something. Contact the company, leave a review, or share your thoughts on social media. Customer feedback is super important for shaping how AI develops.
It's like we're all beta testers in this huge AI experiment, and our feedback helps make it better.
That's a great way to think about it. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something we're all creating together, businesses and customers.
This deep dive has been amazing. It's clear that AI is changing e-commerce in ways we never could have imagined. But it's not just a one-way street. We have the power to influence how AI develops and make sure it works for both businesses and shoppers.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's all about finding that balance between doing new things and being responsible.
Well said. It's always great talking about this stuff with you. And listeners, we want to hear from you. What possibilities and challenges do you think AI will bring to online shopping? Share your ideas on social media using hashtag #TheDeepDive. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AI.